You won't be able to make it to the end of this video, but if you're the 1% who do, you'll be happy you listened. Here's how to love yourself as a young man. So many young men, they hate themselves, they don't like who they are, and it's causing a lot of issues for them. Maybe they're giving into lust and they hate the fact that they can't stop. Or maybe they want to be this certain person, they want to be making money, they want to have the good physique, but they don't. So they feel guilty, they feel shameful, and they hate themselves. And that self-hate will only ruin your life. So here's how to love yourself as a young man. I have 3 steps. Once you do these 3 steps, you have achieved self-love. The first one, become the man you would respect. What traits do you see in other people that you respect? Close your eyes. Imagine the dream version of yourself. What does he wear? How does he speak? What does he do during his day? What does each step of the day look like? Now open your eyes. Start acting like that person, and eventually you will become that person. When you can become a man you respect, it's easy to love yourself. So you have to figure out, what do I respect in other people? What characteristics? Maybe the person who wakes up early, the disciplined person, the confident person. Now literally just close your eyes, imagine that person. Pretend to be that person. The more you pretend to be that person, eventually you become that person. So number 1 is become the man you would respect. Number 2 is detach from the outcome. Me personally, I've been struggling with this a lot. You get so attached to the outcome of things, right? If you think you're going to love yourself when you make more money. You think you're going to love yourself when you get that relationship. You think you're going to love yourself when X, Y, and Z happen, but that's not the case. You have to love yourself for who you are, for the input, just for being yourself. So detach from these things and be centered with who you are. So many people, they hate themselves because they say, oh, I'm going to love myself once I accomplish this goal. Once I get this goal, then I'll love myself. And that's just not the case, man. That's never going to work. So detach from the outcome and learn to be present. Start doing things like, meditation, reading, journaling, gratitude journal. Write down the things you're grateful for. You have to start to be present with who you are and just love yourself because it's who you are. No one can strip away your confidence. No one can strip away your ability to be joyful. So if you're able to be joyful, then love yourself because you're joyful. Don't love yourself because another girl loves you or whatever it is. Then improve in the 3 areas of life: mental, physical, or the 4 areas of life: mental, physical, financial, and spiritual. As a man, you have to be improving these 4 areas. The first one, mental. Focus on your mental health, man. Bad mental health will really destroy your life. It really will. So focus on your mental health. Start doing things. Meditation is great. What I do every morning is I'll go outside and I'll just sit in nature. I'll just look around. I'll practice an awareness drill. I'll close my eyes. I'll see, okay, what do I feel? Then what do I hear? Then what do I smell? And I open my eyes. What do I see? And I'll practice just being present in the moment. So, start meditating. Reading's really good too. Reading, knowledge is really key for a lot of things, and reading will really help calm your mind. Another thing is just breath work. Practice. Take a few deep breaths with me. Breathing really helps you calm down. It calms down your nervous system. You're more present. Focus on your mental health. Don't be stressed. Don't worry. Just be there, be present. Then physical. You have to work on your physical as a man. Start going to the gym, start eating clean, start practice, start swimming. Swimming is something I've been doing recently, and it helps a lot for some reason with mental health too. It calms your mind. So I'll hit my lift, I'll work hard, work on the weights, then I'll swim, I'll do the sauna, the cold plunge, and I feel calm. Almost the physical helps your mental. Start going to the gym as a man. Start eating clean. Don't eat some, BS, goy slop foods. Eat real foods. Boom. Then financial. As a man, you have to prioritize financial because so many people, they hate their lives and they live lives they don't want to live because they don't have money. And you kind of have to accept, okay, you need money in this world. So what can you do to do something, to do what you love in order to achieve it? Figure out, build a business, figure out what you love doing and figure out a way to make money off of it. That's the key, man, with financial. Because you need to have money in this world, and I promise you, you don't want to be stuck working a job you hate for the rest of your life. This is your one life. Do something with it. Then spiritual. You have to be spiritual. Read your Bible, pray. Of course, meditation goes back to this. Spiritual really matters. You need to have a good spiritual. It really will help. And what you will start to realize when you start practicing these things is over time you start to love yourself more. You start to see yourself in a higher sense. I had a lot of self-hate when I was growing up, right? I hated myself a lot. And I went through different periods of trying to find self-love, right? My freshman year, I was so insecure. I hated myself so much that I said, you know what? I'm going to change myself. I got a buzz cut. I had acne. I got a buzz cut to like be kind of like a, I'm changing myself, kind of like to, show the change. And I hated myself so much, man. But I started going to the gym. I started eating clean, and I started loving myself more and more and more. And now I'm a senior in high school, and I love myself, man. I'm so proud and happy of who I am. Not in this like pride sense, but I'm just happy of who I am. Because I'm like, dang, I really have grown as a person. So you have to love yourself. And love starts with you accepting yourself. So accept yourself, respect yourself, and become that man. And I promise you'll love yourself, man. I love you too.